So yes, welcome. So basically, in this wonderful individual reading, this can be for Virgo for January 15th to January 20th of 2026. So in this wonderful reading for you, I understand what's going on for you, Virgo, because you need to be who you are and be authentic, and you know how everything's all complex, but you understand that of how it is. You have to see it as a wonderful feeling. You know what to do. You know how it is, and that's how it goes, right? That's just the way it is. So you understand what's happening in that way, because you're going to be diligent. You have to know how it is, and if you have any fragile energy, you know what's right, what's wrong. You know that's how it goes. So you know you might be having a you versus them in a situation. Whether you might have a good day, you might have a bad day. You know, you might feel like you're acting all sassy, all girly, or whatever it is, because that's how it seems to be, right? You have to know about it. You have to have your own ins and outs, right? That's how it goes. And when you do it, that's how it seems to be, because that's the way it is. You have to understand it, because from the here and now, this monetary equation, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know how you can do it in that way, whether you like it or not, but you see it as when fulfilling, right? So, you know, this is how it goes. So you will see the cards eventually, but I will reveal them eventually. So you're going to see what's going on here, because that's how it goes in that way, and you have to know about it as when fulfilling. So, as you can see, that you will see it in a moment. Ten of Swords, you have conclusions. You might deal with an original Libra Aquarius. Lovers is up, you're making decisions because that's what you want. Seven Cups, there's a delusion here, so you might be thinking about another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Her reverse, you already have a soulmate, but you know you want to getting yourself involved, right? Five of Swords, is no conflict because that's how it goes. And Nine of Cups, you already have no romance. I have no idea why. But you need to get the picture. You need to understand about how you can do it in that way, because that's how it goes. Alright, so that's how this needs to be. So, here we go. So this is a wonderful reading that I just showed you all. That's what I just told you about. So remember, I'm going to clarify the Seven of Cups, the Ten of Swords and Lovers. Page of Swords, there's no education. Ten of Swords, there's healing. Here from the there's guidance. You know, that's how it goes. So when you focus that you have already the education, you already have education, right? You already understand that. The Hermit is you're healing about something, and the Hierophant is upright, there's basically guidance, because that's how it goes. So when you do it, that's the way it works. I'm going to clarify this Page of Swords here. Nine of Cups here, there's no romance. See, between this Nine of Cups and this Nine of Cups, both of them are saying that you have no romance, okay? So this is going to be how it is, whether you like it or not, but it's based on that. Then we'll clarify between the Hermit, the Nine of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Page of Pentacles here says no prospects. Ten of Wands here says no burdens. Ace of Cups here says no satisfactory. Nine of Pentacles, alright, there's trust. Yeah, because that's how it goes. You're trusting the way how it works, and this is how it goes, right? It's the way how it seems to be. I'm going to clarify there's 9 cups here. 10 cups, there's completion. 8 wands reverse, there's no speed because you have no speed left. You have no speed because you're basically pacing, and you think that, well, you know, I need to understand what's going on because this is how it goes. And I need to understand it. So when you understand what's going on, you see it as one for direction, but the way how it is, that's how it goes. So you think, okay, everything's completion. Yes, it is. But you don't know, right? You don't know what's going on. So we're going to apply this Hierophant. 2 wands, you're planning on something. Yeah, so when you're planning on something, that's how it goes. So you might be doing Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in that way, whether you know what it is in that way, whether you're going to go with the flow, whether you're on based on that, whether you're going to understand of how you're feeling it in that way. It's like, okay, well, this is how it goes. I need to focus on that. That's how it goes. What's this Ace of Cups and this 10 wands here? 9 cups here says no fulfillment. 7 wands you're feeling silence. 8 wands here says no charisma. 5 Five of Wands is upright because there's chaos. Yeah, because that's how it goes. So you think that everything is going together, but everything is not. You're having a chaos, a session. You're basically saying, well, I don't want it. No, Virgo, you get to the point. If you have chaos in your own life and you have it, that's how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. That's what you want. Nine of Pentacles, you might be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. That's how it goes. You pay attention to what's happening. You have to decide what you want, what you get, what you're going to visualize on how it goes in that way. It's like, okay, this is how it goes. Time passes on. Yes, it is, because that's what it seems to be. You know how you're going to do that in that persuasion, in that way, and you're thinking, well, this is going to be very interesting. So I'm going to clarify this 2 wands here for one card. 3 wands, sorry, you want communication. That's what you want, right? You want to communicate. That's how it goes. What does it want here? 6 swords, sorry, there's movement. Yeah, because you want to have movement. You want to go, and that's how it goes. What's this page Pentacles about? Her yours, you already have a soulmate because that's what you already have. The 5 wands. The Emperor is that right? You want structure. So you see it as a wonderful feeling, but you get to that way of knowing what to do, right? We're going to clarify this 3 wands here. Moon is upright. There's misrotations. Yeah, because you're affected by the moon. You're affected by the moon, Virgo, because it's your energy. It's the way of how it goes in that way. What's this 6 of Swords about? The Sun card is upright. There's positivity. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. You know how it is. But you're focusing on another Leo as a fire sign. You're focusing about that positivity. That's what you want, Virgo. You get to the point. You have to understand that when you have your ability, you understand what's going on. What's this Hermit card? The Chariot yours, there's no progress. Yeah, because you have no progress left. So Virgo, you get to the point where you're going to do it. That's how it goes. What's this Emperor? The Devil is upright. There's obsessions, addictions. So you might be dealing with whatever you deal with, but the way how this is, you think, well, I'm focusing on another Virgo or another Capricorn. That's how it goes. You're focusing on that. You're focusing about the here and now of this whole entire equation, because that's what it is. So you're focusing about, well, it's not my fault. No, it is. Because you get to the point. It could be you versus them, maybe them versus you, I don't know. But you get the point. You get to that lecture of that way of knowing what to do. That's how it goes, Virgo. You get to the point. What's this Moon card about? The Emperor is right. You want nourishment. You want to be nourished. You want to be nurtured. You want to be who you are. Right? That's how it goes, Virgo. You get to the point. What's this Sun card? The Emperor is right. You want structure. That's how it goes, right? So you want to have the ability to have structure. What's this Chariot? Those are yours. You're not making decisions. That's how it goes. You want to make decisions, but then you don't want to make decisions. It's your choice. What's this Devil card? Sun cards are there's positivity. Yeah, because you want to stay positive. You see it as a wonderful feeling. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. But you have to see it as a wonderful feeling. You know what it takes. Let me clarify this Empress card. Wheel of Fortune reverse, you're having bad luck. That's how it goes. Because you know what's going on, Virgo. You get to the point. Where's this Emperor? Where is everything? There's completion. Everything's completed. Yes, it is. But do you get it? Yes, it is. You understand that. What's this Lovers about? Hand reverse, there's no restrictions. So you already know exactly what it is because you get to the point. What's this Sun card? Fool is upright. There's change. Yeah, because there's changes. Everything is changing for the better. Right? Everything is going to be how it is. So I can understand that. Right? That's how it is. Let me clarify this Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune reverse. So I just clarified that. Both of them are saying bad luck. You're having bad luck. You're forcing your ability to have communication. You want to communicate. Virgo, you get to the point. You get to the point whether you like it or not, but it's based on that. It's based on how your own potential of knowing what to do. What's this world card about? Taurus upright, you want progress. Yeah, because you want to have progress. You don't want to, but you do. That's how it goes. You get to the point. What's this Hangman about? Fool is upright, there's change. Yeah, because that's how it goes. You're changing the direction. You're changing about how it is in that way, whether you like it or not. But Virgo, you get to the point. What's this Fool card? Moon reverse, there's no misrotations. There's no energy from the moon, right? So it's like you're affected by the moon, but then you're not affected by the moon. That's very interesting. Let me clarify the moon card, please. What was that, right? You make decisions. Yeah, because you want to make decisions. That's how it goes, right? What's this Wheel of Fortune here? The High Priestess here is, there's no inner voice. You're not using your inner voice. You're not. What's the Chariot card? The Hermit yours, you already have a soulmate, because that's what you are. You already have one. Get to the point. What's this Fool? Hangman's alright, you have restrictions. Yeah, because you're being restricted. Right? So it's like, this is how it goes. What's this High Priestess about? Story yours, there's no inspiration. Nothing. What's this Hermit about? Word of yours is incompletion. Yep. Back to the start. Wheel of Fortune yours, you're having bad luck again. What's this World card? Magician, you want skill. Yep. Back to the Wheel of Fortune. Fool reverse, there's no change. Followed by the Strength card. Yeah, because you want strength. You want things to happen, right? It's the way of how you're going to look at it from a different perspective. You think that everything's fine, but it's like, no, it's not. You have to figure out what's happening. So let's see. And I'll tell you what the universe is saying. So I'm going to go from the middle to left, middle to right. Ace of Swords is there's a misunderstanding. Yep. Three of Swords is no celebration. Queen of Swords is no empathy. Seven of Swords, you're feeling deceit. Knight of Swords, there's drama. That's how it goes. It's a part of acting. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. But when you have a misunderstanding, that's how it goes, Virgo. You get to the point. What's between the middle and the right side? Magician, that way you want skill. Two of Swords is no relationships or friendships. Ten of Swords is no healing. Empress, that way you want nourishment. Yes. What's this Ace of Swords about? 10 of Swords is no burdens. King of Swords, there's no knowledge. 9 of Wands, there's immaturity. Obviously there is. So you're focusing about your ability from having that way about knowing to do, right? So now we go from the middle to left, middle to right. 8 of Swords, there's anxiety. 7 of Pentacles, you want a career. 9 of Swords is upright, there's trauma. 8 of Wands, there's speed. 2 of Wands, there's no planning. 6 of Wands, there's achievement. Yeah, that's how it goes. Right, you see it as a wonderful feeling. So when you have the 10 of Wands reverse, there's no burdens here. That's what I'm meant. What's between the middle and the right side, please? Magician, you want skill. Ace of Swords is a misunderstanding again. Ace of Pentacles, there's growth. Yes, there is. So let me clarify this. Ace of Swords here. So there's misunderstanding. 5 of Cups, there's grief. 4 of Wands, there's no celebration. 9 of Wands, there's no immaturity. King of Cups, there's support. Yeah, that's how it goes. So 9 of Wands reverse means you are acting like you have no immaturity, but you're acting like that. You get to the point, Virgo. You get to the point. What's the middle of this situation? 10 of Swords, there's no healing. Emperor yours, there's no structure. Oh wow, 10 of Pentacles, there's no wealth. Yeah, that's what you want. You're complaining because you have no wealth. Wow, that's kind of unfortunate. Let me clarify that. 10 of Pentacles. Here, there's guidance. 8 of Cups, there's no satisfaction. Ten Swords reverse, there's no conclusions. Five Wands reverse, or Five Pentacles reverse, there's no insecurity. Six Pentacles, there's kindness. You're being kind, but you know it's gonna be how it is. Whether you focus on that way about what you're going to do, what you're going to get, what you want, you know, that's how it goes. And you have to believe it. You have to understand that, because in theory, it's based on how it's going to be in that way, whether you're focused on that. You focus about what's happening around that situation, whether you have to improve yourself wisely. You have to get the better of you, you know, Virgo. You're acting like you want kindness, you want respect, you want how you're feeling. But the way how it is, if you have no wealth, and you know you're saying, well, I need money, or I need whatever I want, well, you need to understand that whether you have to act to have kindness. Kindness will go a long way, right? It will do that. So you have to understand that. You have to compel yourself. You have to know what's right, what's wrong. But you understand that. You have to show your own respect to understand that. You have to understand something rather than misunderstanding, right? So that's how it goes. So I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like. Please leave a comment if you want, but understand that, right? That's how it goes. So thank you so much. And thanks, and bye.